Well, hey, if you missed the memo like a week ago, the Patreon's changing up a storm. I'm changing what all the reward tiers do and what they offer, basically because of the fact that my Patreon always kind of reflects the way that I live my life at a given time. I build it around like what makes sense for me to do in addition to my main channel content and the stuff that the Patreon is actually like paying for. Like what can I offer people that will be worth their money enough that they will increase their pledge, but not so intensive in terms of what it requires from me that it makes it so it interferes with the main work that those people are at the core paying for. The way that Patreon should work essentially is that you can just give as much as you're comfortable with, but make adjustments in a small way based on like what you can afford. So like if all you can afford is like a $1 patronage, there's no way you're going up to $5 a month. $1 a month is the most that you're really reasonably going to do. But let's say you get a lot more reward if you give $2 instead. This is a much smaller adjustment that you're much more likely to make. From $5 to $7, from 10 to 15. You know, these kind of adjustments depending on how much you're already like capable of. So I'm trying to restructure the Patreon more on the basis of what is the most I can offer to people within the ranges of what they are likely to pay. Because different people are just likely to pay different amounts based on their income. So from now on, the $1 tier continues to give you what it had already given you, access to all my archived content. A lot of people don't even know how to find that. I'm going to make it so that I'm scheduling a post to come out at the start of every month that will have a link to the archive of all the videos, a link to a list of all the videos that are supposed to be in the archive. So if anything's not there, you can let me know. And then a list of just like everything that is available on the Patreon that is unrelated to being like a series or any kind of archive video, like stuff that I've just literally released for patrons only. Like just today I put out a video overthinking Green Day. So stuff like that will all be linked every month. I'll have the links to all these things so that everybody knows where to find all of the content that they're paying for. That a lot of people don't ever seem to find, or they have to ask around for links to it. So it'll just come out at the start of every month. Then there'll be a $2 tier. Oh, also I forgot to mention that the $10 tier of the commentaries I'm striking for now because me and Devu just have not had time to make them. They are kind of a hassle and a big drag on both of our schedules. So I have just put them all in the $1 archive tier available. So if you go to the archive, all of the commentaries that are currently up are there. A lot of them are getting taken down. Some of them I can't even find. So I don't think there's many that are not up in some fashion. I uploaded most of them to BitChute, and a lot of them are on Google Drive. But like, I don't have a good way of storing these on the internet. They go down often. Me and Devu can't do them very much. It doesn't make sense to keep it as a reward tier when it's been such a hassle. So for now, it's just the 25 episodes, whichever ones are available at the moment, which is most of them. I want to say like 20 of them at least are available, which is like how many hours of content? A lot. Probably like 50 hours of content just in the commentaries themselves. And that's just the available ones. So yeah, like there's a shitload of content that I've added to the archive. This is all in there now, by the way. All of these changes have already been made. The only thing that I haven't done is to delete the existing tiers of people who are buying this stuff. But like I will delete these tiers in a week on the 1st of December. So this is me letting you know early so that you can switch your pledge if you so desire. You can either, get in on some of the higher tiers before they start going, because the highest tier we're going to discuss only has 10 available slots, or you can be ready to make the switch before your patron tier gets deleted. I am going to make the Discord reward tiers, like the Discord fucking names. I'm going to fix all the stupid Discord rewards before I make before this video comes out. So you should be able to immediately subscribe to one of these tiers, get all the benefits of it. But I'm letting you know when things will come out, because like for the $1 archive, that archive it's already there. I added some new stuff to it that wasn't there before. There's text posts and shit in there now. There's just unreleased videos, stuff that has been taken down in the last few months that I wasn't able to re-upload to YouTube. So, yeah, there's a bunch of shit in there. Fucking camera died. Anyway, point being, the $1 tier is already figured out. I'll put a link to everything in the description, since if you're watching this video, assumably you're already on at least the $1 tier. So I will put a link to the archive down below. Again, the commentaries are in there, all that other good stuff. So then the $2 tier, which is also now available, is going to be access to any of the higher tier rewards once they've become at least 1 year old. So anything that is over a year old right now is already in there, which means dozens of episodes of like podcasts between the 2 Weeks Review, the original Irrelevant Anime History podcast, and then Digi Does Life. There's a bunch of those. There's, I don't know if there's dozens, maybe a dozen actually, but whatever. There's like a dozen podcasts. There's like a bunch of the live stream recordings, because for a while I was doing monthly live streams. Those recordings would stay up and be accessible to anyone on that tier. Those are now available to $2 patrons if they're at least a year old. So you get a whole bunch of random shit that way. That's the main thing, is just those podcasts and live streams. But yeah, so there's a whole bunch of them already there, and then every month I'm going to update and add like anything that had come out in the prior month a year ago will now become available to patrons on the $2 tier. So you'll basically be having as much stuff come out for you each month as a higher tier, but it'll just be older stuff that those higher tier people have already seen a year ago. So the next tier above that is the $5 tier, remaining exactly the same. You get access to the the 2 Weeks Review podcast, rather, where I review everything I did for the last 2 weeks. For the last few months, it's been the 3 Weeks Review, because they've all come out late, but they've all been much longer because of that, so I've just been, like, trying to match the length with, basically, like, 45 minutes per week is how I tend to think of it. Like, that's about how long it takes to talk about a week. So, yeah, I've been doing the 2 Weeks Review for quite some time. It's the most popular of my patron rewards. It was especially popular after I moved it down to $5. I'm keeping it there. I like it. It's my favorite reward on the whole thing. But then we've now got a $7 reward where I'm introducing another show that will also be bi-weekly and come off in the off weeks in between episodes of the 2 Weeks Review. For those who don't remember, 2 Weeks Review used to be an alternating show where it was 45 minutes for the 2 Weeks Review and then 45 minutes for another podcast, and you get both of those at the same tier. It used to be a $10 tier, I think. Now we're making it so you get 2 Weeks Review at the $5 tier, and then at the $7 tier, if you want another bi-weekly podcast, you get the Dead Projects Graveyard. This is where I'm going to go through things that I tried to make that I didn't end up finishing. Some of them have more progress, some of them have less, some of them are more interesting conceptually, some of them are more interesting for what was actually created, some are in the middle. The first episode, which I've already recorded and scheduled, is for a light novel I attempted to write in the background of August when I was making a video every day, called Yggdrasil's Panopticon, which was like teased at in a video at one point, foolishly, and I tell you everything about like how I got the idea, what it was supposed to be about, how, like, you know, the first chapter, which I actually wrote, a theme song I produced for it, and some other notation. So it's just kind of a mind of Digibro kind of thing. Like, explore these thoughts, and like I'm mostly focusing on stories that are very different from like my main channel content. Although if people want to hear more about like main channel videos that failed, I'll definitely address some stuff like how they marketed. But like, I figured I'd talk about stuff that involves like thoughts and feelings I don't communicate as often in my videos, that I would only really talk about in my writing, and that way I can talk about those themes, you know, in video form. Well, not video, they're podcasts, whatever. You get the point. So that's the $7 tier. The $15 reward tier will be pick something for me to rant about. This is always popular. I wanted to be very clear about what the rules are, though, because people, when they first started Patreon, they often try to offer, like, I'll do one of my videos about your thing, not realizing that, like, your own videos take a lot of effort to produce, and if you put that same amount of effort into someone else's thing, that's a whole video you didn't create, and one that only really is special to that one person. And even if someone's giving you $15 a month, that's just a small part of what you would be making by making the main channel content that's for everybody. So it's important to always leverage, like, make sure you understand what are these things worth in terms of your time. I figure that for $15, people would want to have a video that they can always have on hand of Digibro's thoughts on something. The idea is I will just rant as long as I can, as long as I have things to say, and I'm going to record all of it once a month. So basically, I'll put out a post that'll be like, list for me what you want me to rant about in this post, in the comments of this post. And then once that post reaches its deadline, it's like the 22nd or something, I'm just gonna rant all of them, back to back. But I will release both one unbroken rant video as well as take all of those rants and make individual videos out of them. All of this will be released publicly. So you will be able to have the Digibro rant about the thing that you wanted him to rant about as its own video, publicly available, that you can send to people if that's what you wanted the rant for. But yeah, it could be about anything. However, if you pick something I know about, I'll be able to rant about it for a good long time. If you pick something I've never heard of, I will do enough research to form an opinion, and no more than that. So, just be ready for the fact that I don't know everything, and I can't rant about everything. But I'll rant to the best of my ability about whatever you want me to, for $15 a month. So then, and of course you get to pick a rant every month. Then finally, the last tier, the highest one. This is for just hardcore Digibro fans who just want to have their hands in my history, to have evidence of their involvement. And that's where we're going to involve the Digibro Care Package. I'm starting with only 10 of these. Depending on if these all sell out and if people are demanding that I open more slots, there might be more slots in the future. I also want to get people's response and see if they're actually satisfied with what they get. But this is Digibro's Care Pack. It is an envelope containing a weird drawing with a poem on the back. These are the Digi collector cards. This is card 1, set 1. They're all different. They're all got a different drawing by me and a different poem by me on the back. This is the first one I made, so luck of the draw that I pulled it out of the pile. You will also get a Digibro button that Tom made for me. The crop is a little... Oh, I'm holding it upside down. I was like, damn, the crop fucking was not kind to this one. No. This is a button of my avatar. This is the only context in which this exists at present. If people really love these or something, maybe I'll open them up for general sale. But, I have no real intentions of doing so. But, the next thing is a flash drive that is signed by me in both ways. Both with my Digibro moniker, which is what I usually sign stuff with, because I figure that's what people want, is to show that they have a Digibro signature, but also my actual signature. This flash drive contains one original song and the lyric sheet for that song. It contains a movie commentary. Me and May did a commentary on the movie Kenya Boy, which is on here. You've got a special vlog called When Did I Film This, which is about 35 minutes of me just vlogging throughout the span of about a week. You get to see me go to the grand opening of the first legal weed dispensary on the East Coast, and to be one of the first 10 people in line and get interviewed by the news. I've got footage of all that in there, of me smoking the first legal blunt on the East Coast. It's a pretty good time. There's a bunch of other shit in there as well. And then also there's a 35-minute informative Let's Play with a very weird aesthetic of me playing a weird game that I give the whole history of. So that's the content that's on this. Some of this stuff probably can't be uploaded to YouTube because it's got music playing in the background or just full screen footage of an anime movie. The song could probably be re-uploaded. I don't know if anybody's going to upload any of this content. Maybe they'll make the stuff that can't be posted on YouTube into a torrent. I have no idea. You're free to do whatever you want with it, but you can only get this physical drive, which is just, a flash drive that I signed. It's 8 gigs, so you get a free 8 gig flash drive. I don't completely trust these things Because while these were the best reviewed ones that you could buy in bulk, a lot of the ones that you can buy in bulk are pretty badly reviewed and often have a lot of defective units. But, you know, if it shows up and it doesn't work, just let me know. If you want, I can send you a new one. If you just wanted it as a keepsake anyways, I can just send you the data. So, yeah, you'll still have a signed, useless USB flash drive from Digibro. So that's it. That's what the new patron rewards are. You guys know about it beforehand. Again, I'm going to make a After Dark video explaining all this again, but like more clearly for people who don't know what the Patreon is at all, so that like I can treat new people. But this is just letting you all know, who are already patrons, what you can change your patronage to, what it's worth, what you'll get out of it. You got the first in line on the 10 envelopes if anybody even wants that reward. A bunch of people said they did, so you know, figured I'd give them first pick. But just know that December 1st, the roles that exist will be destroyed. The new Patreon rewards already have Discord tiers. They already have everything sorted out. So, you know, get it now while the getting's good. I'll see you in the next one.